Hello everybody, how are you? This is Nancy, the Disorderly Stitcher. It is Monday, October 24th, 2022, and this is take 4. Why I'm trying to do this after school on a Monday, I have no clue, but we're going to do this. So I had the the video shot, 30 minutes, went back to look at it, realized I had shown part of a chart. Did not like that. And I also realized I never introduced myself. So, bag that. Second time, I didn't like it the way I started it. So, stopped. Third time, I realized I didn't have my handy dandy microphone plugged in. So, I canned that one. So, this is it, people. This is what you get. All right. So, I hope everybody's doing well. I cannot believe that October is almost over. It is getting cooler. We're still having a little bit of that fluctuation with temperatures, but it is getting cooler. The trees are starting to turn in South Central PA. My husband and I took some time and went up to Raystown Lake yesterday, which is about an hour and a half northwest of us. There's still some color up there, but for the most part, a lot of the trees are done. And I looked at my husband and I said, so does that mean we're officially old now that we're leaf peeping? I don't know. But there were also a lot of other leaf peepers up there, so who knows. But anyway, it was just nice to get away, he and I, and just spend a day driving around. So how are you? I hope everybody else is doing well. I hope you're getting a change in the weather if that happens where you live. And are you looking forward to that 4-letter S word? You know, the cold one, the one that yeah. Okay. Anyway, we have not seen any snow yet around here. So, any flurries that have come off the lake haven't reached us. Sometimes they do, but they haven't done that yet. So, I'm happy about that. And I will apologize right now if I start yawning. It's the end of the day. And, so I'm not going to edit these out. You know me. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, we have a finish. I finished something and I have some haul, of course. I'm going to talk about a stitch along that is being hosted by the Cornhusker State Stitchers. Mention a couple other floss tubers that I love to watch. One of which has taken a hiatus from floss tubing, which you have to do every once in a while, and my plants. Okay, so here we go. What do you want to start with? Of course you want to start with the finish. I'm so excited. Can you tell? That's what's making me like a crazy person right now. So I finished Christmas list. I can't believe it. Da 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 da. I'm so excited. So, yes, this is designed by Diane Grick from Montrose, PA, which is, I think, out toward Pittsburgh. I'm not sure. But anyway, PA is a big state. And I wasn't born and raised here, so I really don't know where anything is except Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, Shippensburg, Philadelphia. So anyway, I finished it. I went to bed Friday night, and all I had to do was baby Jesus down in the corner. Hopefully you can see it all. And when my husband and I came home last night, I said, I'm getting this done. And I did. I'm so excited. Yes, so if I needed to work on this monogamously. And I think, honestly, I may be just a monogamous stitcher, because if I flip around too much, I think it's almost too crazy for me. So anyway, I'm going to get that framed. I don't know where I'm going to go. I've heard good and bad about Michaels. I've heard good and bad about Hobby Lobby. So if you have any suggestions or, comments about your experiences getting things framed, let me know. There used to be a stitch shop near us 30 years ago that would frame my stuff, but you know, obviously as Stitch Shop goes, she closed down a long time ago. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to convince my husband to do this for me, but he has about as much spare time as I do. So, with that being said, yes, I, you know, pushed the button a little too many times in the past couple weeks, but you know, when you're presented with some cool charts and some decent bargains, why not? So the first one I got, it was on the Stash Unloading site on Facebook that I'm in, and it's the I can't speak, words are hard. Little House Needleworks ABC samplers, and it's the entire set. So this gal had these up with a bunch of other charts, and I said, by chance, would you want to just sell me the ABCs? She said, sure. So anyway, here's, you know, ABC. Hopefully you can see it. I love these houses. And the pumpkins. I like the pumpkins. And there's that one. With the bunny rabbits. I think those are bunny rabbits. Yes, I do believe they're bunny rabbits. I don't know. I'm calling them bunny rabbits. And here's FGH. I love this yellow house with the red flowers, because you know me and my red. And then we have, this is I think probably one of my favorites because of the sheep and the yellow salt box. I love salt boxes. I always have. My sister's first husband, his parents, they're from up in Vermont in Newport, and they had his parents had a salt box on overlooking Lake Memphremagog. So those of you from the Northeast Kingdom, you know where I'm talking about. This one's pretty too. I love it with the deer. It's more of a winter scene. And here's another one. I love this reddish brown house. So, yes, Budamus, Budamus. And here we go. And a lot, I believe the colors she calls for in all of these is Classic Colorworks. I don't think, oh yeah, it's all in Country French Mocha. So there you go. Don't have to do a lot of thinking as far as what fabric. And can you see that? And the final one, this one's cute with the bee scap. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing those. One of these days I'm gonna, you know, when I have time to make pillows, I'm gonna learn how to do that. So of course I need to retire to do that. Oh, and by the way, I'm wearing my Packers jersey because this is Spirit Week and today was Jersey Day. So yes, unfortunately they lost yesterday by 2 points. But you know, they're my team. You still got to believe in your team, right? All right. And you know, if it's not the Packers I'm rooting for, I hate to say I'll root for the Browns or the Bears. Bears just because I love bears. I mean, they're bears, you know, I gotta love bears. And the Browns, I was born in Ohio, so I root for the Browns. So anyway, enough football. So what else have I purchased? Well, the kitten stitcher, Teresa, had a special Halloween box. And I've never done anything like that before, so add to cart, as Steph and Pam would say. So it came with this cute little pumpkin guy. And it's really silly because this is from Lancaster, PA, which is about an hour and a half from me. And Teresa, I believe, is down in Mississippi. So it had to go to Mississippi to come back to Pennsylvania, which I thought was interesting. That was my cat. I don't know what she's doing. I think she probably found a bug. So anyway, in this box there were these cute little cards. So these, yeah, these are hilarious. I love her look. Like, really? You want me to take this picture? And of course we have the skeleton guy. You gotta have a skeleton. And there are 3 little witches. And this reminds me of when I was a kid. In fact, I want to say we had a cardboard Halloween decoration like this when I was little. Something very similar to it. And I love this. It sort of reminds me of the Wicked Witch. She scared me to death when I was little. Did she scare you? And, you know, here's one on the broom with the black cat. And here's a pumpkin. And she's a very dignified looking witch. So I don't know, are these, oh, they are, they're stickers. How interesting. Didn't bother to look before. So anyway, yes. All right, so I got those in this box. And the patterns that came in the box, I'm not going to keep opening them all up, but this is Beware of Ghosts and Goblins by Scarlet House. I thought that was cute. I like the polka dotted pumpkin. The cat's meowing at me. And from Lottie Da, I have Witch Hazel. I have never stitched Lottie Da, so I'm anxious to do that one. And this chenille came with it, sort of a purpley color. And I'm wondering if it was for this one, Grimm's Haunt by Plum Street. I just love the oranges in there, and the barn reminds me of like a Trip Around the World quilt. I just love it. And then this came, it's an embroidery project. It's called Witch Village, and it came with the buttons. See if I can cover some of this up. So there's that. And there's the buttons. And this one is by Hello from Liz Matthews. Now it says that it's done on 32 count haunted linen by Picture This Plus for the upper portion, and 32 count beige linen from Weeks Dye Works to stitch the lower portion. So that's interesting. I've never done that before. So I guess it's supposed to be like a quilt out in front of the house. Maybe. I don't know. I've never done that. So that'll be interesting. So that was in the Halloween box, and you know, I've never done something like that before. I don't know if I'd do it again. I just wanted to see, you know, what it was all about. I have all these retirement projects I have to get together for when and if I ever retire. Hopefully. Someday. Alright, so another thing that came in the mail, I can't remember if I showed you this or not, was the December month to month by, I think I did show you, Stitching with the Housewives in the, in the club. I think I showed you this last time. And then I got this, I just thought this was pretty and simple. A lot of motifs. This was on the Stash Unloading group. One of the gals, you know, what are you doing? She just knocked down all of my 2.5 inch strip batting rolls that I used to make jelly roll rugs. And she's sort of looking at it like, you know, I didn't do it. Anyway, so she sells it with the fabric and the floss, so why not? So I thought that one was pretty, simple and pretty. And another one that I got, a motif sampler. I think I showed you this one too. But, you know, I'll show you again. Why not? Okay. Now this one, I ordered twice. I believe I heard about this one on Annie B's Folk Art. I love Annie B's and her daughters. They crack me up. In fact, the other day they were making me laugh so hard I had tears. And I love their relationship. It just, you know, mom and two daughters, they are amazing. So this is On Prudence by Plum Street. And I just love what it says because, you know, when you think about it, it is true. What's in thy mind, let no one know, nor to thy friends thy secrets show. For if thy friends should prove thy foe, then all the world thy secrets know. And unfortunately, that's a lesson we all have to learn at some point or another in our lifetime. So it looks like this. I love it. It's got beautiful soft colors. And so I was like, all right, I really want to do this. And so I found a kit from a shop in California. Now, on the website, it says she had been ill. I don't know if it was COVID related or what, but she had been ill, not knowing when this notice had been put up or whatever. So I took a chance and I ordered it. And the kit came with fabric, which is 36 count Bramble by Picture This Plus, and all the overdyes. Now the Bramble's sort of a gray color. Well, I didn't get any confirmation. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. Oh, excuse me. And so I called and left a message, and I emailed and left a message, and I still didn't hear anything. And I thought, okay, maybe she's still sick. So I went on 1-2-3 Stitch, and I thought, I want this chart before it disappears. So I pulled the trigger on another one, and not knowing what color that was going to be, I thought, okay, I'm going to get this Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. Now it's more of a brown. I haven't opened up the package yet. I don't want to do that because of the cat. Well, this one came in the mail first, and 2 days later this one came in the mail. So, you know, maybe one of these days this will be sold, or I'll do a giveaway. I don't know, but I just love it. Now the model was stitched on navy bean, vintage navy bean, which is one of those that is really hard to find right now. And the threads are Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and that's it. There's no Classic Colorworks in this group. So I'm kind of anxious. I do want to get this started, but I just love it. So that's that. And I have one more. If you've ever watched Cornhusker State Stitchers, it's a mom and daughter. Again, their relationship is amazing. I absolutely love them. But they like to do stitch-alongs with Primrose Cottage. And they're going to start, or have started, the Christmas rules. So it's a very simple stitch. Again, lots of text, so it shouldn't take that long. And it calls for pewter gray, 14 count pewter gray, and a combination of DMC and or 1 Gentle Arts and 1 Weeks Dye Works. Well, I decided I wanted to do 18 count. Now again, not knowing what fabric it called for when I ordered it, I thought, okay, it looks gray to me. So I ordered an 18 count, sort of a slate gray blue, Fiber on a Whim. And I know you're not going to see this because the lighting in here is terrible. But I like 18 count. So, okay, I got it. Realized mine was a little blue and did something I have never done in my life. I did a floss toss and I chose my own colors. So here are my colors. I had the cocoa and I had the cranberry, but I decided to use the overdyes and not the DMC. So I went and I pulled my overdyes. I don't know if I can get these all in there or not. Now the only time you use the orange is for the snowman's nose. The one I was having trouble with was the gray, because having a more bluish tint to my fabric, I had to be really careful about what gray I pulled. Well, lo and behold, I got my October Floss Fix from Fat Quarter Shop. And the collection this month is Gunmetal Gray. You know, it's like one of those Twilight Zone things. So all of these beautiful gray, smoky gray, dark gray, whatever gray, came in the mail. Okay, it's hard to see. But, you know, they're light grays, dark grays, medium grays, bluish tint grays, which is this one. The only time this gray shows up in the chart is as part of the one present, and I believe the tree skirt. So really, as long as this goes well on the fabric and shows up against, I pulled black coffee for 310. I think it'll be okay. So I'm excited. I've never done that. I've never substituted before. So, you know, I mean, it's not rocket science on this one because it's only a few colors, but I'm excited. Are you excited? And I ordered a cross stitch clutch from Starlight Stitching Co. If you've never ordered a cross stitch clutch, they are worth it. And I think I showed you these before. You have the zipper pouch, but then behind it, there's another fabric. Like, you can put your scissors back there so they don't get all caught up in your threads. And I ordered this one because it's the Grinch. I love the Grinch. This is the original 1965 Boris Karloff Grinch. And in my book, that's the only Grinch. But anyway, so you have this, and she puts this beautiful little charm on it. This one has a tree. Because remember, there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. Yes, I've seen this many times. And you open it up. It has a huge, soft, cuddly thread bed. And a piece of felt for your needles. So I love it. But anyway, so I had to have that. So there's my threads. And my needles are in there. All nice and organized. Why? I'm the disorderly stitcher. And I have it in a bag. Excuse me, I gotta take my working copy out. From Goose, who is on Etsy. I will link her below. She also makes thread beds. This happened to come with a matching thread bed. All right, and this one has a cute little tree on it. But anyway, I just thought this one was pretty. So I got this last spring, I think. Yes. I need an intervention, people. Somebody intervent. And then while I was ordering the Grinch, well, you know, when you get one, you might as well get two. So I ordered this one with the purple pumpkins and the tombstones, the jack-o'-lantern. And she put this cute little charm on there, zipper pull with a skeleton, the skull. And again, there you go. Isn't that fantastic? So yeah, Starlight Stitching Co. She announces them on her Instagram page, and they go up for sale on the 1st and the 15th of every month. Um, she'll show you like, okay, these are what are going to be for sale at the next date, and then she makes what she needs, and then she ships them out. She does a really great job. I really, really admire her work. I did try to make my own. It didn't turn out real well. So one of these days, I think it's because I was too rushed. I just wanted to get it done, which was not good. And all I had for the inside was batting, and that didn't work well either. So anyway, yes. So cross stitch wise, that's pretty much it, except for floss organization, which we'll talk about in a minute. The one quilty thing I did get done, I got block 3 done on the Prairie Meadow quilt along. I think this is my favorite so far. So yeah, I really enjoyed working on this one. I took my time a lot more than I did on number 2. I think I was mad with number 2 because I just didn't like those oak leaves. And if I had enough fabric, I would go back and I would do it again. But I don't. So I'm just going to have to suck it up, Buttercup, and live with the second block that I made. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about was Flosstube videos. I mean, how many subscriptions, how many videos, how many Flosstubers do you follow? I find one and then I click on it, subscribe, and I want to go back and watch it. And sometimes I do go back and watch it. Sometimes I don't. I have so many subscriptions of Flosstubers that I follow. I'm to the point where I can't keep up with them all. And I hate to unsubscribe, but I don't know what to do. I probably have a good 20 or 30 or more that I have subscribed to. I do have my favorites. The one I was telling you about that has gone on hiatus is Crafty Cottage Stitches. Again, a mother and daughter out of the Pacific Northwest. They are great. I love their banter back and forth, but they want time for themselves, and I respect that. I totally do. So they're going on hiatus for a while. They might, pop in once in a while, but they have a whole bunch of videos out there. So, check them out. Crafty Cottage Stitches. Another one I've been watching is Welcome Stitchers. Welcome Stitchery. It's a gal in Minnesota that has a shop, and her friend, and oh my gosh, they had me laughing so hard the other day. I thought I was going to pee my pants. But yeah, and Steph and Pam at Just Keep Stitching, they crack me up. So, I'll link some of my favorites down below and you can go check them out. I do a lot of sewing while I floss tube. So, I like to have that background noise. It sort of feels like I'm at a retreat and I have people in the same room with me. So the only other thing I really wanted to talk about was floss storage. How do you store your floss? Okay. 35 years. We're going to go with 35 because it sounds better. When I cross stitched. Let's go with 30. I like 30 better. I used the paper, cardboard, whatever, bobbins, and I would write the number of the DMC up on the top, and I would wrap it around. All right, so they look like these things. All right, and I would wrap it around like this. And I had it in a bag or box. I probably had 3 or 4 boxes. Well, of course, then all that went by the wayside. I got rid of all my stuff, which, right now I could kick myself for. I gave my floss to my kids to make friendship bracelets out of when that was hot, when they were in middle school. And funny story, kind of weird, but funny story. Whatever you do, don't leave your floss laying around if you have a cat. We had a cat when the girls were younger and they were doing these friendship bracelets, and I ended up flossing the cat. She had eaten it. Thank God it went all the way through her system. And I had to pull the floss out of the other end. I told you it was weird. It's gross, but yeah. I'm just grateful that she digested it the whole way through so that we didn't end up with a cat in the hospital. You know, the floss hadn't wrapped around her intestines and gotten all tangled up. But anyway, I digress. So when I got back into cross stitch, thanks to COVID and YouTube, I bought these floss bitties from Fat Quarter Shop. Now, these are the same idea as the cardboard ones, but they're a hard plastic. So they don't have the little notches. They almost look like dog bones. And instead of wrapping, I started wrapping the floss, and everything I read was like, you know, anytime you do that, you end up creasing it, which is not good. I'm not quite sure why this isn't considered a crease. But anyway, so I started doing this. And that's where I am right now as far as bobbinating. Yes, I bobbinate. So I have those. Then I decided, after watching 911 Stitcher, and she has a video on how to make her own floss cards, floss keeps. She uses scrapbooking paper and things like that, and she creates her own floss cards. So I decided to get mine made at Vistaprint when they had a sale. And it has my Disorderly Stitcher logo on the front. And then I punched holes for the floss and for the ring. Here, let me pause you a minute and I'll see if I can find one. This is why I'm the Disorderly Stitcher, people. So anyway, I had this open. At least I think that's what this is. It should be. You ever have one of those days when you just should have stayed in bed and everything starts to fall down? I abide by the stuff it where it fits cleanup plan. I don't know about you, but yeah. So this is when the elevator music starts. Yes. So this isn't the box I opened, so we just opened the second box. That tells you how many I ordered. But anyway, so this is what they look like. I haven't punched the holes in them yet. All right, so I'll punch a bigger hole up here and a smaller hole. No, the small hole up here and the bigger hole down here. So the smaller hole will be for the ring and the big hole will be for the floss. Now, I've also seen people do a big hole and a small hole so that if you have, like, the piece you're using goes in the small hole and the rest of it goes in the big hole. I don't know. But then on the back of mine, I thought, you know, once these things are carded, I'm not going to take them off and put them on again. So I put, you know, what floss is it, the color, and then, or the number. Because, like, DMC has numbers and Classic Colorworks and Weeks have names. So I think I ordered a couple hundred of these suckers, and I have yet to put my floss on these. And the reason being is that I spent a lot of time putting my floss into Flossaway bags. Well, no sooner did I invest in all these Flossaway bags did I discover that storing it like this, at least for me, is not practical, because I bought those 10-drawer plastic things, those things from Michael's, and when you get all these on here, they don't fit well in those drawers. And I don't really have a place to hang it that isn't in the sun. So I'm like, now what do I do? So I don't know. I may end up taking everything out of those floss away bags, and who knows what I'm going to do with them. So now I was like, all right, what am I going to do? And last Saturday I was, carousing through Flosstube, and I found Sweetwater Stitcher, and she has a floss organization video, and she found these boxes at Target, and she found these little, I'm going to call them trays for lack of a better word, and you can fit 3 of them in there. So I bought like 5 boxes, and the trays come in sets of 3. So I bought 5 sets of 3 trays each and 5 boxes. Now I don't have enough. I'm going to have to go get some more plastic storage, and please don't tell my husband. So for now, I have put probably a little over half of my floss, still in floss away bags, in the boxes like this. She is doing hers. She has them out like that. She's just taking her skeins and laying them. Now, obviously, this is not skeined, but she's just laying them in the trays. Again, I mean, I did this, but again, it's like, okay, do I want to take them all out of the floss away bags and organize them, like put little stickers on the ends, like, okay, I have from number 400 to 450 or whatever in this, something like that. And let's say I have a box for the 400s and a box for the 500s and a box for the 300s. I kind of like that idea, because whether I do it like that or I do it like this, I still have to root through to find what I want. This is just going to be a little neater, I think. It's not going to take up as much room as these bags do on a ring. But now I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do that, now I've got to take them all out of my bags, which, I'm invested in. www.amazon.com. And so I'm debating, but I know that I need to get these rings out of that plastic drawer thing, and because that's just not working. And then I can put my charts and my fabric in the plastic drawer thing, because I have a bookshelf that my dad made me when I was little, sitting in my sewing room now, and I can put these boxes on that shelf. So I don't know. How do you keep your floss? Do you put it on a hook and hang it? Do you have, I've seen people with pegboards and they have them done by color. I thought about doing it by color, but my problem, I guess that's the one place I'm a little more organized, is if I had them numerically collected together or alphabetically, which is what I did with my Classic Colorworks and my Weeks Dye Works, that I'll find them quicker if they're alphabetized. So I don't know. What do you do? How do you do this? I'd be curious to know, because I do not have any place in here that I can hang it. I don't have a closet, and I don't want them in the sun because I don't want them to fade. So yeah, so that's where I am with those. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I know what I'll do. I'll do something. I have a feeling they're all going to come out of these bags. So, which is just, like I have nothing better to do. All right. Well, so I did promise a video after 2 weeks, and it's been 2 weeks. So here's the video. Excuse me for yawning again. So the end of the marking period is coming up on Halloween. And of course, some of the kids are in panic mode. Some of the kids that should be in panic mode are not in panic mode. I'm not quite sure why. It just doesn't seem to affect them. Like they don't care. Is COVID responsible for that? In some ways, yes, because we've passed kids along. And I think that's done them an injustice. So, but anyway, I'm not going to get on my soapbox with that. So, I noticed that I have like 1,000 followers, which totally blows my mind. I cannot believe that. At least that's what it's telling me in the little 1 point something or other. So thank you so very much. Those of you that keep coming back, those of you that have pointed people in my direction, those of you who put up with my weird, off-the-cuff humor. I have this lamp in my face. That's weird. So, thank you. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I never know what to say. And I try to, bring forth what I'm making and how I'm doing, but I feel bad because I don't feel like I'm doing enough. The one thing I do want to do in the future is a whip parade, because I do have a lot of whips. Both quilting and cross stitch. So that's going to be on the list here in the future. So with that in mind, I'm going to do another giveaway. Me and my buying double charts. So this is one I bought. It's by Hands On Design. It's from an original chalk art designed by Priscilla Blaine, who is half of Stitching with the Housewives. And it's called Let It Snow Bungalow. So if you are interested in winning this chart, let's use the word snow. Use the word snow and tell me your most memorable snow story. All right, and if you don't have snow where you are, then tell me why you would want to experience snow. Or if you don't want to, let's stick with the, I want to experience snow. What about snow intrigues you? Living where it snows. I am going to have to say this needs to stay in US right now. And I do apologize. Simply because of postage. Postage is crazy. So tell me your favorite snow story. Use the word snow in your response. Please make sure that you ring the bell, that you give me a thumbs up, because that helps me, helps people find me and helps me know that what I'm doing is enjoyable for you as a cross stitcher and quilter. Please make sure that you are over 18 so that I can ask you for your address. So, snow. My favorite snow memory, when I was little, we lived in upstate New York near Schenectady, and it was the winter of 69-70. We were trying to sell the house, and for those of you up in northern New York and you lived there at that time, you know that winter was whack. There was so much snow, and this is before my father would have even dreamed of having a snowblower, if there was such a thing in 1969. So he and my brother would go out and shovel the snow by hand. But there was so much snow that the two piles of snow at the end of the driveway on each side were as high or a little bit higher than the top of the garage door. And the for sale sign was so far up you couldn't even see it. That was probably the most snow I ever experienced. It was crazy. So what is your snow story? Because pretty soon, from what I read, the almanac is saying we're supposed to have a harsh winter. The woolly bears, though, aren't telling me that, because I saw a woolly bear that said, yes, we're having a harsh winter. But my husband saw a woolly bear that said, no, we're not having a harsh winter. So even the woolly bears can't figure this out. And if the woolly bears can't figure it out, I don't know what's going to happen. So, leave your comment below. Use the word snow. Tell me your snow story. I hope to see you in the next couple of weeks. Have a wonderful time stitching. Enjoy your Halloween if you choose to celebrate. And we will see you soon. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.